Commissioner Reen,
Here.
Commissioner Naravian, Chair Hatamian.
Here.
And for the record, Commissioner McGrabian as well as Commissioner Jihanian are both absent.
Thank you, Mr. Kwan. May I please get the next item?
Minutes, consideration for the minutes of the July 9th, 2025 meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. May I please get a roll call, Mr. Kwan?
Commissioner Reen,
Yes.
Commissioner Naravian, Chair Hatamian.
Yes. Next item, Mr. Kwan.
Oral communications. At this time, I do not have any calls, nor have we received any cards.
Thank you. May I get the next item?
Recruitment and examination report.
Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, this is the regular recruitment and examination status report, which represents the current recruitments in process and that our team is working on. You'll notice that our team has 33 open recruitments, and the report identifies the division of work and the various stages of the examination and selection process. If the commission has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, this is a note and file item.
Any questions?
Just one quick one. I note here that we have some recruitments that are not Department of Water and Power and Fire. So are these pre-approved before the hiring freeze was in place, or?
Some of them, yes. But since we last met, the city management team has put a hiring freeze exemption process in place, and it goes to the city manager. If the department head can make a case that they can use funding that's already in their budget to cover the cost, it may be approved to fill, but that's a city management decision.
Thank you, understood.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Any other questions? I see none. May I please get the next item, Mr. Kwan?
Eligible list established for August 5th, 2025 and September 10th, 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission. The subject before you is the regular report that includes all of the eligible lists that were established since our last meeting in July. The report includes the total number of applications, the number of individuals that advanced through the various stages of our examination process. Since our last meeting, we have established a total of 15 lists. 7 were open to the public, 5 were given on a promotional basis, and 3 were given on an open and promotional basis. This is also a note and file item. However, if the commission has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. I just have a comment. Kudos to HR staff, because when I do the total of the number of applications received, it looks like it's over 500. So just want to say thank you for all the efforts at HR.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. Next item, please.
Job bulletin for approval, firefighter recruit paramedic lateral. And Mr. Chair, members of the commission, I did pass out a revised version of this item, which was on your desk prior to coming in.
Thank you for that, Mr. Kwan. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, before you for review and approval is the job bulletin for firefighter recruit paramedic lateral. This requires your approval because the minimum requirements on the job bulletin are being modified from what is listed in the firefighter recruit class specification. The fire department requested these changes to better meet their operational needs. Right now, the class specification requires completion of a certified paramedic program, a high school diploma or the equivalent, and possession of a California paramedic license with Los Angeles County accreditation. Instead of entry-level qualifications, the lateral recruitment will target firefighters who are currently employed as firefighter paramedics, where candidates must have at least 1 year of full-time professional firefighting experience with a municipal fire department. They must have also completed both a certified paramedic program and a Firefighter 1 Academy or the equivalent. For licenses, applicants need a California paramedic license at the time of application. Out-of-state applicants can apply with a National Registry certification, but must obtain a California license by February of 2026. Normally, the Glendale Fire Academy runs for 16 weeks. Because these lateral candidates will already be trained as firefighters, they'll instead go through a 6-week academy focused on Glendale-specific techniques. This approach saves money on training costs while still ensuring readiness. The last lateral recruitment occurred in May 2024 and was successful. Five experienced firefighter paramedics were hired and the vacancies were filled. So this streamlined requirements will help fill critical positions more quickly. 85% of Glendale's emergency calls are medical, so having an experienced firefighter paramedic directly benefits the community. The shorter academy time does reduce costs while still maintaining training standards. And so this recruitment is targeting laterals. The Glendale Firefighters Association has reviewed the bulletin and did not raise any concern. However, I should note on the material, Mr. Kwan put it on your desk, on the job bulletin itself, there are 2 highlighted paragraphs that the Glendale Firefighters Association asked us to include, so it would be more clear to laterals how the pay piece would work if a lateral was to join the organization. Other than that, the Glendale Firefighters Association did review the bulletin and did not raise any concerns. Staff does respectfully request that you approve the firefighter recruit paramedic lateral bulletin as submitted. We have our human resources analyst Deanne Snurl here, along with our battalion chief David Ahn, our deputy chief Andrew Gano, who are happy to answer any questions if you have them. I would also note on the memo that is placed on your on the dais, page 2, there are 2 highlighted paragraphs towards the end where the fire department leadership is asking permission not to return to the commission if they run another lateral recruitment and no changes are made to the bulletin. So if there are no changes and we successfully fill these positions and we don't make any changes, they are also asking for your consideration in that area. And so that concludes my report. If the commission has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
I do have one question, Ms. Adams. In regards to a lateral recruitment versus an open competitive, does the city run exams where it's concurrent, meaning they can have an open competitive, but then at the same time, if somebody wants to lateral in and they meet the minimum requirements, they can also do so?
I believe technically we could, but practically speaking, I don't know that that's the route we want to go this time. Saving costs is of utmost importance to us now, and having the team ready to be assimilated with a firehouse sooner than later is also advantageous for the city. But technically speaking, both could occur, but in this case, that's not what's happening.
Thank you for that. And then, can you elaborate a little bit about the background of lateral transfers? Because having worked in governmental agencies pretty much all of my career, I know that sometimes when you get laterals, there's a reason why they're leaving their current agency. Sometimes it has to do with pay. Sometimes it has to do that they're not happy where they are. And so what type of a background would these recruits go through?
I'm going to ask Fire Department leadership to come field that question.
Chairman and members of the commission, Andrew Gano, Deputy Chief. Different reasons we have people come to Glendale. Of course, it's Glendale. We're a bigger department, and we get a lot of other members from Area C departments within the area. They're smaller departments, and our department, we have different, we have USAR, we have HAZMAT, we have a lot of other entities within the department that they can choose to be part of, and that's one of the main reasons.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Gano. I know, like, again, my concern is more of like the background, because sometimes with laterals, not all the time, I understand laterals save money when it comes to the training component. But then when you unfortunately lateral over the wrong employee, the litigation of that employee coming over is also very costly, right? And so sometimes you're better off having a fresh candidate that you select yourself. So my question is more in line with the type of background that you do, whether or not this individual has discipline outstanding. Are there any complaints against this individual by members of the public? Why are they leaving the current agency that they have gone through training with, and their level of commitment? Does the department look into those things?
Yeah, they do a full background. They do the same exact background that anybody that was not in a non-lateral position. They do the same exact background. It's very extensive. And they go through all that.
So would it be typical for other agencies to release the personnel files of candidates for a lateral position?
I'm not exactly how the background process goes, but they're very thorough. They go through, you know, their entire work history, as well as going to their neighbors' houses and the full history of, you know, from a long time ago. I'm not exactly sure how far they go in depth with their current employers, but I know they go in, pretty far in depth.
Thank you for that. And yes, Ms.
Mr. Chair, I would imagine that they would make inquiries on the application itself to allow the candidate to disclose certain things. And so in addition to the background check that's done by an outside agency, the applicant is required to be forthcoming with certain information as well.
Thank you for
And
that.
it would be no different than any other past issues that they would have had with any other employer. So a background would hopefully discover all of that.
Thank you for that. And Ms. Adams, is the probationary period, the 1-year probationary period, also common for open competitive examinations, the 1 year? Is that the standard?
For the recruit process, and then you promote into the regular firefighter.
So these individuals on the lateral, when they start, they'll be on probation for 1 year?
That's correct.
Okay. And Mr. Gano, what do you look for during that probationary period when you're assessing this employee?
It's the same as non-lateral firefighter paramedics. We have a process where they go from an engine and a truck. They spend 5 months on each, and there's a Glendale fire standard that they are required to obtain, and everybody is the same, whether you're a lateral or not.
Have you had any experience in having to disqualify lateral candidates?
Absolutely.
Very good. And so what's the ratio you'd say from the laterals that come in that you'd have to DQ them?
I couldn't give you an exact number.
Sure.
But for the most part, we just had a process and we were very successful with that process. And that's the whole reason why we're coming to you again for this process again. Previously, we had an open recruitment where we only have probably 7 people left out of the whole, I want to say 200 people that applied. And that's why we're going to this lateral bulletin.
And how much time do you spend training the new lateral recruits?
Hundreds of hours. They go through the 6-week academy, and that's 40 hours a week. And then once they graduate the recruitment academy, they go to the line, as we call it, and they'll go to an engine or a truck for 5 months, and then they'll go to an engine or a truck, which one they haven't gone to, for another 5 months. And they're constantly being mentored, coached, and drilled. And they have 2 evaluations for each of those apparatus, and they are required to pass both of them successfully.
Very good. Thank you for that. Any other questions? I see none. Do we have a motion?
I'd move that the bulletin be approved as indicated in the memo to the commission.
Mr. Kwan, do we have a roll call?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Commissioner Reen,
Yes.
Commissioner Narabian,
Yes.
Chair Hatamian.
Yes. Thank you. Next item, please.
Class specification for approval, cross-connection control series.
Ms. Adams.
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, before you for review and approval is the new class specification for a cross-connection control technician and cross-connection control specialist. Together, these positions form the cross-connection control series within Glendale Water and Power. In June 2025, the City Council approved the creation of these 2 new positions. Today, we're bringing forward the corresponding class specifications, which outline the essential functions and minimum qualifications. The technician will focus on field work, conducting property surveys and hazard assessments to protect the public water supply. They'll test and repair backflow prevention assemblies and also inspect recycled water use sites. The specialist serves as the lead over the technician. Their responsibilities include managing the backflow prevention assembly database, conducting plan reviews, surveys, and hazard assessments, and they will also prepare regulatory reports for state, county, and city agencies, test and repair assemblies as needed, and coordinate recycled water system pressure and shutdown tests. Both positions will report to the Water Quality Manager and the Water and Power Department. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers has been notified about these 2 new class specifications and has not expressed any concerns. Also, an FLSA study has been completed to confirm the appropriate designation for the series. Therefore, staff respectfully recommends approval of the cross-connection control series, both class specifications as submitted. We have our Human Resources Analyst 2 here, along with the Water Quality Manager and our Assistant General Manager for Water Services, who together will answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Any questions? I do have one question in regards to supervisory authority. So does the cross-connection control specialist supervise the cross-connection control technician? They are a lead. I'm just looking at the org chart. page number 28. Is that how typically it would be listed if it's a lead versus a supervisor? Okay. Any other questions, comments? None? I see none. Do I have a motion?
I would move that we approve the class specifications as indicated in the memo.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reen,
Yes?
Commissioner Naravian. Yes. Chair Hatamian.
Yes. Next item, please.
Reports and information, employee job performance evaluations, past due aging report.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, before you is an informational report on performance evaluation and the return status for the City of Glendale's employees. As you can see, the response rate remains very good, and there are no evaluations on the second notice list. If the commission has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, this is a note and file item.
Any questions? I see none. Next item, please.
Civil Service Commission staff comments.
Any comments from my fellow commissioners?
My only comment is last time we did agendize a discussion about temporary appointments that might have been made in light of the hiring freeze. And so it's my understanding a few temporary appointments have been made. We didn't get that agendized for this particular meeting, and it's probably just as well since we just have a quorum here tonight. But I would like to, the chair had many interesting and good ideas, I think, that were expressed last time. So I would like to revisit that at a future meeting. So I'd like to get that agendized. But in the interim, if staff could provide some insights as to the status of that without violating the Brown Act, I'm not sure whether we can discuss that now or have a report on that.
We can't have a discussion because it wasn't agendized, but I can give you some baseline information. And as Commissioner Reen said at our last meeting, I did state that I would offer a report on temporary acting assignment extensions where there was a list. Since that meeting, there have not been any extensions that have been requested. And I did not finalize the presentation of the report. But for the next meeting, I will have that agendized and prepared for discussion. We did approve 4 regular acting pay requests. 2 were with the fire department, and 2 were with Glendale Water and Power. Of those 4, there were no lists in place. They're just regular acting pay requests for the regular duration that we would normally approve outside of a state of emergency. So no extensions have been asked for, no extensions have been granted. But we will be sure to get this on the agenda for full discussion at our next meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Did those 4 require commission approval? The ones
No.
you mentioned? They did not. Okay.
No,
Thank you for the update.
you're welcome.
I mean, they didn't, just to make a comment, they didn't require commission approval because we made a broad approval last meeting, or just?
Through the normal course of business, the city manager has the authority to approve acting pay requests, and these were normal acting pay requests. At our last meeting, we were talking about if there was a list in place and an extension of time. But those facts were not in play for this here.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm thinking that if a temporary appointment is made, then there may be issues because maybe more than one person wants that position, which could be a leg up towards maybe when the freeze is lifted, then they've already got that experience. And so what we want to make sure is, as a city, is that people feel that in light of everything, still it's a transparent process and that there are procedures and fairness. We don't want people feeling heard or that it was prejudicial in some respect. And so I think that was sort of the heart, if I can speak for the chair, that was sort of the heart of the discussion last time is what procedures and policies are in place to make sure that everybody feels like this is a fair process in light of an emergency that the city's going through to some extent. So.
Understood, and we'll agendize that for next meeting for a full discussion.
Ms. Adams, can you differentiate between the acting role and versus the extension of time for us and how whether or not civil service commission, it needs to be brought forth to the civil service commission or not? And this may be a question that I might even have to ask our council. Is there a differentiation between the two? The 4 that were just approved versus when someone's appointed to an acting role?
Can I just caution us not to get too deep into this discussion because it's not on our agenda? And that we can all talk about it in greater detail at the next meeting. And I think maybe have answers to the question that you just posed as well.
Thank you, Ms. Varpetian. I think at the meeting where we had the meeting, you may have been absent.
That's right.
And yeah, so I think there's a disadvantage there too. So yeah, I do agree with that. But I would want to know maybe at our next meeting, once it's agendized, the difference between the two, where the nuances are, and where it needs to be presented to the commission and where it doesn't need to be presented to the commission.
Understood.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Any other questions? Next item, please.
Adjournment.
Thank you. We move to adjourn. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.